Welcome back to another video from me, James Kelly. Rather than do a kind of direct behind the scenes, I wanted to kind of chat through my thought process before showing you the final advert. A shandy company called Shandy Shack. They do an IPA shandy and an elderflower shandy. So I downloaded the assets from the company's website, got the logo, got the background textures, and then it was a case of kind of seeing what we got, what ideas come to mind, writing them down before we start filming, and this is kind of what I came up with. Okay. First things first was the fact that there's two flavors, without it being too sexist. One is more aimed at female, one is aimed more at male, so that automatically meant I wanted to include a female within the film. I also wanted to do kind of hero the logo, because it's got this special finish and embossing. I wanted to make sure I got a nice close-up detail shot of that, and that will be achieved by kind of the Lazy Susan spinning it slowly and then the light catching it. I also really wanted to play on the fact that there was two colors, two designs, and my thinking was, why can't we just have the can kind of in the same location on the Lazy Susan spinning, but on the beat it changes to the other can. In a real proper professional studio environment, we'd make sure we've got the best cans, because they're applied by hand, these labels. They don't quite line up, so they may look like they do, but when you get into close macro detail and you are switching between the frames, they don't quite align perfectly. They also have a textured feel on the surface, so by doing a macro shot with the 100mm macro, we can get nice and close and show the detail of this special finish that the company's decided to use for their labels. I also wanted to finally, I invested, it was 99p, in some glycerin, and yeah, this stuff's great. Before, on my adverts, I would use just literally water and drench the can, and obviously you don't get that long to work with water because it runs off quite quickly, or it can dry out if the lights are warm, and just evaporates. Whereas glycerin, mixed with a bit of water, 50-50 kind of ratio, spray it on, it holds it for hours, if not forever. I haven't quite tested it forever, but it does make me think, can you apply a glycerin kind of spray, condensation spray, to something like a Weetabix? I don't know. Well, that was an attempt. And then the other thing I wanted to get across was, because it's kind of a male, female, it isn't completely that. They're both lovely and they taste delicious, but you know, a more floral flavour such as the elderflower, that is kind of lended towards the female, whereas an IPA is generically more male. It's more of a group affair of getting together with friends, maybe like around a campfire, or camping trip, or a picnic out in the woods or something. And I wanted that kind of, or even like a festival kind of going vibe, and I wanted that to be kind of present by the music choice that I used. And the song that I came up with, I didn't come up with the song, found, was by an artist on Epidemic. I feel this song kind of, to me, it hit the nail on the head. Whether the client, if they ever see this advert, whether they agree, because obviously everyone's got their idea of the perfect song. I've managed to kind of isolate the vocals and overlay them with other vocals that are further on into the song. It's almost like it's got this, I like to keep saying, camaraderie vibe. It's more like the crescendo of like friends all getting together, cheering along. That's the vibe I wanted to go for, and I feel that I pulled it off. The only downside was I couldn't really exit the song in a good place at the end, as you'll hear now. I cut it dead, but then I applied an old-time radio kind of effect to just the vocal part of the O's, Lars, whatever you want to call those. And that was almost like to resemble the fact that they're in the distance being played on someone's old stereo or something that they've taken to the picnic with them. Yeah. After my list, I then took that into a quick storyboard. My original plan for the colours was to, because there's two colours, was to almost do like a gradient background using my computer monitor after looking at the brand assets, and we went for the textured background instead. And then I also wanted to do, my original thinking was to have like a, as you can see here, focus, a lineup of the cans, but I wanted there to be some human interaction. But in the end, what we did was something a bit more extreme. I'll go and get it. It's gross though. Hang on. Oh my gosh, it's covered in worms and wood lice. But basically, this big block of wood, we used this as the end shot. Let me put this back outside. Ugh. We've lived in this house for nearly 6 years, and that bit of wood's been outside in all rain and elements ever since we moved in here. What I did the night before the shoot was I put it in a big storage box and just had a heater on it, full blast, all day. Next morning when I came downstairs and I looked at it, it was crawling in wood lice. What we did was we quickly set it up in front of the monitor, put the cans on, and then we used a background from Unsplash. If you've never used them, they're a free-to-use image library. And we searched for a forest scene that would suit kind of the vibe I was going for. Because it's got a nice low-level shot, we were able to kind of make it look like it was part of the scene quite well. And then as it was still recording, I just got my wife and myself to start taking the cans away one by one, put them all together in a really compressed, overlaid kind of sequence, and it looks like everyone's like grabbing their drinks before they carry on their picnic party. All right, enough talking. Let's play the finished ad. So what do you think? Was that any good? It wasn't as complex as some of my other shoots, but I just wanted to get the initial idea of a color changing, flavor changing product as an example of what you could do further down the line with your shoots. Imagine this is like a Coke can going to a Coke Zero can going to a Diet Coke can, you know. Hope you enjoy this video. Let me know your comments down below. Shandy Shack, go check them out. Quite delicious. I imagine they'd be perfect in the summertime for barbecues and stuff like that. And as always, just remember to get your camera out and just have fun with it. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.